What's on, guys? Jason here, back to my channel, and then we'll be doing a review for Friday Night Smackdown and all that stuff. It was a good show. Smackdown, it was okay. The Rock had a little concert and all that stuff, and pretty funny as always. As a heel, also, right for right now, all that stuff. But yeah, it was good. But Rampage was a little more better. But I had that is, you know. But anyways, just excuse me, sorry. Um, just going to get to it then. Um, the show kicks off with a segment with the Rock concert thing, all that stuff. From there, we shoot. The before the show, the show started. Oh, we show started, but they would have the video package thing and stuff, and about what happened last time. We saw Seth freaking Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Rock, and Roman Reigns. With the Rock slapping. Cody Rhodes slapped the Rock and all that stuff. So yeah. But anyways, it's going to get to it then. From there, we shoot inside the sold-out FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. The Rock's theme hits, and the crowd explodes as he makes his way out in another flashy $5,000 fest. His theme switches to his old "Is Cooking." It says whisper. Heel theme music from WWE's past. He sells in the ring to kick off this week's show as Corey Graves and Wade Barrett welcome us to a show. The ring has a carpet laid down, and has a table and chair. It's time for the return of the Rock concert as he sells in the ring. Fans actually give him a loud pro Rocky, Rocky chant. The Rock begins on the mic after a healthy delay due to more pro Rocky, Rocky chants stopping him. He says, usually scorches every city he comes to lately, but tonight's different. He says, this city is different. He mentions how he started his wrestling career many years ago, right here in Memphis, Tennessee. The crowd pops and chants, Rocky, Rocky. He mentions some local landmarks and asks if we remember his old name back then. Flex, someone yells, I love you. And he says, The Rock loves you too. He then does his finally catchphrase, which he finishes with home. He says Memphis is his home, and it's been years since he's been here. Rock says, we're going to have fun tonight, and mentions how this is the home of the blues. He asks if we want to hear The Rock sing a little song. He brings in from War and Treaty, a member of the group. Memphis' own Yellow Pete. They will play the music. Rock will sing. He says he's gonna cover a lot of stuff in the song. Some music begins playing as the lights go down low. The Rock is gonna come lay the smack down on your blonde Cody ass and your best friend the clown. I'm gonna whoop your ass and break your back, or maybe I'll just beat you with my fanny pack. An old photo of the Rock wearing a fanny pack is shown on the big screen. Yeah, that showed up. His next verse, he brings up Mama Rose. He asks if we have a lot of mama's boys in the house tonight. He sings a little story about how Cody was born, which he says is historically accurate. Dusty's youngest son was just what he feared. He tried to raise him right, but he turned out too weird. A Stardust photo is shown. Yikes. He says drugs and cheap condoms was a bad combination for Dusty Rhodes. That's terrible. Before hitting another line about how Cody was a mistake. He says Cody isn't alone. He's got the living embodiment of cringe. Seth Rollins to come to WrestleMania 40 with him. He mocks Seth for his wife being more popular than him, as a photo of he and Becky Lynch is shown. As he continues with another verse, he taunts the Cody crybabies. He calls them crybaby bitches and tells Cody there's a line you don't cross. And to kiss the ass of the final boss, who is, of course, himself. We love you, Memphis, he says. After that, and the fans break out in a loud Rocky, Rocky chant again. He clears the Rock concert stuff out of the ring and brings up Cody slapping him to close the show last week. He says, let's take a look at it. And the video is shown on the big screen, and after it wraps up, the fans boo. Rock says Cody finally manned up and grew some balls. He says The Rock smiled. He then says a couple of days later, Cody was on Raw. He asks how Cody was going to follow up the biggest moment of his career. He says, "Let's take a look." And we see footage which starts right at Cody breaking up, crying in his promo when talking about how he can't bring the title to his father, but he can still give it to his mother. He mocks Cody for crying. Rock says he wants to send a message to Cody's mama. The crowd gasps, "Mama Rhodes, you don't know The Rock." He continues before promising her that he and Roman Reigns are gonna beat her son and his friend. He says at night too, even though she wants her son to finish that story, it's not gonna happen. The belt is staying around the waist of his cousin. Mama Rhodes, you're gonna get a belt, but not the Universal belt. You're gonna get the Rock's belt. He then pulls out a belt and shows it as fans chant, "Whoop that trick." He then explains to Mama Rose how he's gonna whip his son and make him blood. He's gonna whoop him like a dog. He says Cody's blood will be on this belt. After he loses, he'll give the belt to Mama Rose. He wants her sitting in the front row so the world can see. He promises he'll hand the belt to Mama Rose as she's crying, just like her son. But that's okay because The Rock is gonna whisper in her ear, "Mama Rose, Michelle, what can I say? Expect you're welcome," which he sings. Fans again chant, "Rocky, Rocky." He finished, "If you smell what the final boss is cooking." Alright, we're going to get to the first match for WrestleMania 40 Tag Team Title Qualifying Match. LWO versus Legado del Fantasma. After The Rock's opening segment wraps up, we see Legado del Fantasma and LWO warming up backstage as we head to our first commercial break of the evening. When we return from the break, we see the Legado Fantasma duo finishing up their entrance already in progress. Corey Graves mentions there are 14,173 fans in the sold-out FedEx Forum in Memphis for tonight's show. Already in the ring are the LWO. The bell sounds, and we're officially off and running with this WrestleMania 40 Tag Team Title Qualifying Match. Del Toro and Cruz hit a big double hit spot to the floor for a close near fall to jump into early offensive lead. After two more back-to-back high spots, we shift gears and head to a mid-match commercial break as this high-stakes tag team contest continues. When we return from the break, we see that Legado del Fantasma has taken over the offensive control of the match. They beat down one half of the LWO in the corner of the ring and continue to utilize frequent sorry tags to keep a fresh man on him at all times. Legado del Fantasma duo hit an insane double team high spot as they bring Cruz Del Toro to the top rope together and hit a double military press to send him crashing down to the canvas. Del Toro fights back with crazy Spanish fly, which allows him to make the much needed tag. Joaquin Wild comes in off the hot tag and helps shift the offensive momentum back in the favor of the LWO duo. Unfortunately for them, however, Leo Del Fantasma takes right back over seconds later and finishes this one off with the win to qualify. So winners are Legado del Fantasma. Alright, we're going to go to a segment in a little bit. We see live shots of Cole Damage Control as well as Bailey arriving to the building earlier today. After that, we shift gears and head to another commercial break. When we return from the break, we hear the familiar sounds of LA Knight as the crowd goes wild. The megastar makes his way out and he begins, "Let me talk to you." Knight then brings up AJ Styles and asks him to come out. He says that's what he thought. When nothing happens, he says Styles misses another show. He says he can fly all the way to Australia, but he can't make the little drive to Memphis. Knight says since Styles keeps failing to show up, he'll confront him somewhere he knows he'll have no choice but to show up. He then goes on to issue a challenge to AJ Styles for WrestleMania 40. As he goes to wrap up, Styles comes out from behind and attacks him with the chair. Styles leans down and says, I accept. He walks out to end the segment. Alright, we have another match coming up is Randy Orton versus Grayson Waller. Backstage, we see Logan Paul demanding an apology from Randy Orton for his actions last week. While talking to his SmackDown GM, Nick Aldis tells him he should get one from Orton himself. Paul is critical of Aldis for not being able to find an opponent for WrestleMania 4 back inside the arena. The theme for Grayson Waller hits, and out he comes with Austin Theory after we shift gears and head to a pre-match commercial break. When we return, we see Kayla Braxton catch up with the Bloodline backstage. She asks Jimmy Uso for his thoughts on main event. Jey Uso challenging him to a match at WrestleMania 40. Jimmy goes on to accept challenge and ends by saying yeet with a mean face. The theme for Randy Orton hits, and as we return inside the sold-out FedEx Forum, the Viper slowly makes his way down to the ring for his scheduled showdown against the host of Grayson Waller Fed. The bell sounds and off we go with this one. Before anything happens, we hear the entrance tune for Logan Paul, and out comes the reigning WWE United States Champion to a ton of boos. He makes his way down to the commentary section. As Orton gets attacked by Waller at ringside, we head to a mid-match break. As we settle back in from the break, Logan Paul has officially joined Corey Graves and Wade Barrett on special guest commentary for this Orton Waller bout. Waller is dominating the action, taking it to Orton in the ring. Orton starts to fight back and slams Waller on the commentary desk. Orton stops and glares at Logan Paul before scooping Waller up and dumping him with authority on the commentary desk. Once again, back in the ring, Orton is distracted by Austin Theory on the apron. Waller charges at him, but Orton moves and Waller takes Theory out. The Viper hits a draping DDT on Waller off the middle rope, and then looks around at the crowd, who break out into a loud RKO, RKO chant. Orton drops down and pounds the mat, getting into Viper mode. Theory pulls Waller out to the floor to save him, so Orton hits a draping DDT on Theory, and then an RKO on Waller for the win. So the winner is Randy Orton. Logan Paul's WrestleMania 40 announced. After the match, Theory beats down Orton and then holds him as Logan Paul enters the ring with brass knuckles. Kevin Owens runs out to make the save before Logan can do anything. Owens helps Orton up, and just on instinct, Orton goes for an RKO but avoids it. Orton goes to apologize but sees Waller and Theory coming. Owens hits one with stunner, and Orton hits the other with an RKO. They both stop, pound fists, and then turn and stare down Logan Paul. Out comes SmackDown GM Nick Aldis. He asks if Logan Paul was able to get that apology from Randy. The crowd laughs. He says he has determined his opponents for WrestleMania 40. It will be Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens in a triple threat match for the WWE United States Championship. Alright, next match we have another match coming out is Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee. We shoot backstage interview with Dakota Kai and Damage Control. Kai sends a message to Bayley ahead of their showdown later tonight and vows to show everyone in the women's division that Damage Control runs things in WWE. Back inside the arena, that Legado del Fantasma theme plays, and out comes Santos Escobar with the rest of the group. he sells in the ring as we shift gears and head to a quick match commercial break. When we return, we see a recap of the U.S. title triple threat match being made for WrestleMania 40 back inside the FedEx Forum. The theme for Dragon Lee, and out he comes. The bell sounds, and we're running with this one. After some early dominant action from Dragon Lee, including a big high spot from the ring to the floor, we see Dragon continue to dominate the action in the end. However, Santos hits the finisher out of nowhere and pulls off the win. After the match, Carlito runs out to make the save for Dragon Lee for a post-match beatdown from Legado Fantasma. They beat him down to finally I read that wrong. Finally, Rey Mysterio's theme hits, and out comes the WWE Hall of Fame legend to run them off. He challenges Santos Escobar to a match on next week's Smackdown. We head to another break as we see Dakota Kai with Damage Control getting ready for her match against Bayley. So the winner is Santos Escobar. Alright, main event time. We shoot backstage and we see determined and focused Bayley in her ring gear, getting ready to head out to the ring for a scheduled showdown against Dakota Kai. We head to a quick pre-match commercial break on that. We see when we return from the break, Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes going face to face, and Austin Theory and Grayson Waller versus the OC and the Street Profits versus the Authors of Pain, and a tag title tournament bout are announced for next week. Back inside the sold out FedEx Forum, we hear the familiar sounds of Bayley's theme song. Out she comes to a big pop from the Memphis crowd. Damage Control also makes their way out to bring Dakota Kai to the ring. To the bell sounds, and off we go with our main event. Bayley jumps into the early offensive lead, taking it to Kai. She keeps knocking Kai on out to the floor. Where she continues, where she has to continue fighting her while being careful as her fellow Damage Control members stay close and taunt her. We head to a mid-match commercial break on that note. As we settle back in the break, we see Kai has taken over the commentators inform us it has been all Kai throughout the break. We see Bayley connect with the desperation move that by herself sometime. She has to the top rope, leaps off, connecting with the flying elbow smash for a close to count. Kari-san gets involved, interfering at ringside. Kai hits a big kick. After that, Bayley fights back and knocks Kai out of the ring. She turns around and sees Io Sky about to hit her with the title. She stops her and then turns around to deal with Asuka. Kari-san, who also hit the ring, she takes them out and turns back to Io Sky. They draw at each other until Damage Control all team up and beat Bayley down. The referee calls for the bell, and the match is thrown out with Bayley presumably winning via disqualification. As Damage Control continues to beat down Bayley, we see Naomi run out to make the save. She helps at first, but Damage Control ends up beating her down as well. Fans chant EST, EST, hoping for Bianca Belair to make the save. Instead, Io Sky hits her top rope moonsault finisher to Bayley. Bayley is left laid out as the fans boo, and Damage Control stands over her. That's how the show goes on there. So yeah, it was a good show, right, and stuff. But yeah. So anyways, I'm sorry to say this. I know I promised y'all this, but I'm going to do this as a separate video with AEW Rampage and all that stuff. So I'm gonna get you guys in a little bit. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Laters.